Hi everyone, this is just going to be a quick tip on how to learn to use the pen tool in the Adobe Suite. The pen tool is used across lots of different Adobe Suite software, uh, Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, and After Effects for a few. Um, the pen tool is one of those tools that once you know how to use it, it's fantastic, but lots of people struggle to learn it. So I've just come up with this short lesson on how to learn the pen tool. There's a downloadable file if you want, and you can click along with it. The most basic way to use the pen tool is just using the single click function. So I'll show you this exercise one as an example. So in this, you can see on the layers that I've just created for this exercise that I've got an example path. I've got a fade layer here just to fade that example path. And then I've got these guide dots just to show you where to click. And we're going to do all our action on layer one. Now for these exercises, make sure the pen is on, make sure that the fill is on nothing. So that's this one here. And click on this one, which shows you your stroke color. And we're just going to put it on black for today. The other thing that you want to do is make sure you go to view and make sure that there is no smart guides on and the snapping is turned off. And that's just because there's lots of things on this page and we don't want you to end up snapping to those items. Generally speaking though, smart guides would be the best way to go. For exercise one, I'm just going to click on this first dot, move the mouse to the second spot position, third, fourth, and single click each time, single left click on the mouse, or just single click with a Mac. And you see that we've made that path. And if I wanted, I could go all the way back to this first one and see how when I roll over that first point, you get this little symbol where there's a little circle beneath the pen mark. And that shows that it's now a closed path if I were to click there. If I want to finish the path without closing it, I just simply press the escape key. In the second exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to do the same single clicking, but this time after we click, we're going to hold down Shift, and that's going to keep our angles from one spot to the next as straight lines, either vertical or horizontal. So if we go click, so see this is going around like that. As soon as I hold down Shift, I get 45-degree angle locks. Technically in preferences you can change these angles, but very few people do. So come down to here, click, move across, click, click. I'm holding down Shift this whole time. If I let go of Shift, it's just going to do this. I can not even be on a straight line. I can hold down Shift and it'll lock to the closest. So I can keep my pen down here all the way until it's going to be near a 45. There, there. Oh, now what I did then was I clicked and dragged from the point, which made these start to make little Bezier handles. So Control Z to undo, click, and make sure you let go of the mouse button before. So if I click and then I move, it's going to start to make these Bezier handles. And that is what we're going to explore in the next exercise. Undo, hold down Shift, just do a standard click. And then press Escape to finish. For exercise 3, we're going to start to see what happens when we get our Bezier handles. Bezier handles will show you where the path is going to go and where the path has been. It's kind of imagine it kind of like pulling it in a direction or influencing the direction. So I click on this first point and I click and drag, I get these two Bezier handles. That's what I was talking about. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hold down Shift. It's going to lock things to angles. Okay. So we're going to drag it about to halfway of our curve. I'm going to come down to this point and I click and see how I've got it like this and it can go on any angle I want. If I hold down Shift, it's going to lock it. Now drag it to there. Going to come up to this point. Click, drag in any direction I want. Hold down Shift, and it's going to lock it to there. Click. Now you'll notice that these guide dots are always in the middle of a curve. And that's just the most efficient way to draw them. So we could, if I wanted, in some circumstances I could draw a little one here, and then a little one here, and a little one here. But it's a much less efficient curve. So down here, click, drag, click, hold down Shift, and drag. And press exit. We've made a nice even curve. Exercise 3B, we're going to do the same thing. We're kind of exploring again the idea of where the dots go on a shape. So a circle can be done with 4 simple shapes, 4 simple dot points. There we go, click, drag. You don't have to go clockwise like I'm going, but you know, click, drag. So you'll notice I didn't get that very even, so this is going to be a little bit awkward now. Click, drag, click, drag, click, drag. So I got the first 2 right, but I did not get the first and second one right. So if I come back to this direct selection tool at the top here, click, and that's going to let me move. But I did not get the first and second dots right. So if I come to the pen tool and I go to the anchor tool, so click and hold on the pen tool until I get to the anchor tool. If I click here, it'll let me reset it, start brand new. So if I hold down Shift, it's going to keep it on the 90-degree angles. Come down to here, and I hold down Shift. All right, exercise 4. We're going to do click and drag without the Shift, and we're going to try different angles. So reset the pen tool back to its normal state. And click and drag. And you're going to have to experiment with this. So click and drag. I can get these pretty right after, you know, lots of years worth of it. Drag. A bit far on that one. Close-ish on that one. Right, so if I'm not happy with any of these, I can exit. I've got 2 options. So with the direct selection tool, you can click on any point on the path and just drag it. I find this a little bit hard to control personally because it's moving 2 sets of Beziers at the same time, and I might have already liked one part of it, but it's moving. See, we're affecting 3 parts of the curve. We're affecting the curve that I'm on, we're affecting the curve before, and the curve after. If I undo that, go to the pen tool and the anchor selection point tool. I'm going to grab just this one here. I'm going to pull it down, and that's how it's coming like that. If I hold down with Shift, it keeps it on its 45s. If I'd gone from the center here, oops, gone from the center here, I could have reset it. Tried to keep them as all evens. I personally like trying to keep them all even curves. So we're just adjusting this front one here, which I don't really want to do. So I want to be right on the center, adjusting both the forward and back part of it at the same time. Anyway, that's pretty close. Okay, exercise 5. Okay, exercise 5. I'm going to combine a few things together. So we're going to do click and drag, point 1, click and drag for point 2. Now we're going to hold down Alt to affect our future line, like we did in exercise number 2. And we're going to hold down Shift to hold it on an angle. So holding down Shift locks our angles to 45s. I'm going to drag it out here. Let go of the mouse first, then your modifier keys, Shift and Alt. So 3, you're going to click drag, then hold down Alt to affect the future line, Shift to keep it to an angle, let go of the mouse, then the modifiers. 4, I'll hold down Shift again to keep it straight, and keeping Shift, I'm going to hold down Alt to keep my future line, let go of the mouse, go to 5, click drag, Shift, make a straight line, then Alt to affect the future line, about there, let go of everything. 6, holding down Shift to keep it smooth, then Alt to change the future line, still holding down Shift to lock the angle, let go of the mouse, then the modifiers. 7, just going to do one single click there, and then number 1, I'm going to hold down Alt before I close it so that I'm only affecting the path that we're finishing. So holding down Alt. There you go. That one will be a bit tricky, but you can practice that one a few times. Just exit to get out. So for number 6, we're going to click, hold down Shift to pull it down. This is kind of like drawing our circle, but with only 2 points. You never quite get it exactly as nice as a circle. You get it pretty close, so I'm holding down Shift. And then Alt to affect my future path. Let go of the mouse. Still holding down Shift so it stays in a straight line. Click. Then press Alt for the future line. Click, drag. Let go of everything. Click. Shift and Alt. Just Shift. It's still doing the line of where we've been. Then Alt to affect the future line. Let it go. And click on the number 5. I don't need any reverse line because we're just dead straight, so I can do a click. And then Alt, click. And then Alt to affect a future line. And dragging out from that point. Holding down Shift to keep it very straight, so I'm going to drag it down to about here. And then number 1, and again we're going to hold down Alt, so we're only affecting where we've come from. That's pretty close. That'll do for an experiment. So you can run through these exercises a few times just to get used to it. This should start to get you used to the pen tool more and more.